Welcome to the Talkies by Karman Line Studios. 3 filmmakers talking about movies. My name's Dee.
And my name is Kenny.
And my name is Taylor.
And today we continue our Coen Quest.
Coen Quest. I like that better.
That's a good one.
We had Kubrick Con and Coen Quest.
What is Coen Quest?
Coen Quest is where we go deep into the filmography of the Coens. And today we're talking about Barton Fink.
Barton Fink, yeah. So
our fourth Coen venture thus far.
One, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And maybe the best.
Yeah.
Maybe the best so far.
Of all time. Of all time.
No.
Multiple Oscar winners.
But good. Wow, did I spoil that by saying I think it's good? Ooh. Should I have waited too early to say a movie's good?
We'll censor that.
Sorry about that.
We'll censor it, yeah.
Sorry about that.
Kenny, tell us your
3 filmmakers talking about movies.
What?
No, what?
We already
said that.
Right.
What's your take on this movie?
Okay, take time.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Barton Fink is awesome. Love it. And actually, it actually makes me think about myself. It makes me very introspective.
His elitist
in a way that I don't think any other Coen film does.
Cool.
There you go. I'll get more into that. But
cool.
That's just my hot take.
Cool.
That's hot.
What a movie.
How many times have you seen this movie before?
Once before. This is my second.
Same. This is also my second time watching this. And yeah, I liked it the first time. I think I liked it a little more this time. This is a cool movie because I like the kind of surrealist kind of quality it has to it.
Boy,
the kind of getting under your skin sort of vibe. Like, and when I say that, I mean like what comes to mind specifically is the wallpaper always kind of just slouching off, and the mosquito, just always kind of buzzing away. I like that about it, and the whole like the artist, pretentious artist writer trying to matter and trying to overcome writer's block is very easily relatable to me as well.
Yeah,
which is fun.
Yeah.
This was the second time for me as well. Also liked it better this time, and I liked it before. I like this movie a lot. There's speaking to your surrealist quality of the film, I noticed that when I first watched it, and I think what stands out about this surreal movie, because as you guys know, I'm not a huge fan of surrealism in movies. I think why I like it in here is because there's certain parts in the movie where they talk about the surrealism itself. Like, there's no mosquitoes in the desert kind of thing. And when they give him tacks to hold up the wallpaper, like it's just interesting that they just put those in the forefront. Anyway, really like this movie.
Well, there were some scenes that were so surreal that it made me question if it was actually happening or a dream. Like when he's dancing at the dance hall with all the sailors.
The USO.
Yeah, it felt so different from everything that's happened in the movie, and so out of character for Barton.
Yeah.
That it made me really question, like, wait, is this in his head? And so it really played with your sense of mind.
Yeah, I really
space.
I really kind of read this movie as almost entirely taking place inside of his head.
It does feel that way to me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere one time that someone, I don't know, said it was the equivalent to him being in hell or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think when I read that, it super colored the way I looked at the movie, and so I was just like, oh, it's like a puzzle to figure out kind of thing. And since then, I didn't really look too much into it. But this time, I looked at it kind of coloring my vision the same way, where I was just like, let's see how far this hell metaphor goes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really work, I don't think, that well. I think you said it, Kenny. It's a writer process. I like the idea that
it feels like a writer's the writing. It's all the things, all the emotions that a writer identifies with, and portrayed in sort of like under the most stressful situation.
Yeah,
like it felt like a writing themed stress dream.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was weird though, because I saw the one thing that I very much matched all the time with this hell metaphor was that it was, or maybe not a metaphor, it was just that he was in hell, was the suffering aspect, because he's he's constantly suffering.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole
Well,
movie.
and believed it was necessary.
Yeah.
Like he.
Yeah. Well, see, and that speaks actually to a different quality I was going to talk about, was his elitist quality that he has in his head about himself, that, you know, he's talking to a guy who is the everyday man and he doesn't care.
Or doesn't even isn't even really aware that what he has at his fingertips.
Right. And like he wants to write his stories, but won't take the time to actually listen to his stories.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Complains about the place that he's in, even though that's what he wanted.
Yeah.
That's what to me just speaks so much of just all these are just your basic writer trope experiences, right? It's like, I'm going to give lip service to this idea that I want to do something that's like for the people, but it's really about my ego, you know, still. Yeah. You know, the whole, the secretary coming over to his place and basically like spelling out to him that, the people who are successful here aren't just follow a formula. It's like, hey, there's just an easy formula that you have to do.
Yeah.
And that throwing that in the face of his ideal of what art is.
Yeah.
Meeting a hero who you think has all the answers and finding out he's just a really fallible human.
You think that's all part of the writing process?
Yeah, it's all perfectly identifiable, I think, to anyone who tries to write.
I think so too. It seems like there are a bunch of separate ideas that are just kind of together about writing. Like there's a big theme that's about writing, and they just portray it in lots of different ideas.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's a narrative here really. I'd like for there to be one.
I would agree that there isn't like a very strong narrative. It is more thematic.
Yeah.
More of an exploration of themes. It's like because like we talked about this before in the other Coen Brothers podcasts we've done so far, is that the Coen Brothers are pretty much writers first.
Right.
And so this is their ode to
That's
that.
what I felt too.
I definitely felt that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking the plight
about,
of a writer.
Yeah, the plight of a writer. Yeah.
And even making fun of writers themselves.
Absolutely.
You know?
Like to a huge degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was really funny how Barton Fink goes on these like there's like 3 or 4 moments where he goes on these extremely impassioned monologues about elevating the play form and making something new, and then he always stops himself after like talking over somebody a little bit. He always stops himself at the end of each rant. He stops himself. He's like, "Oh well, there I go again.
There I go again.
Getting on my high horse." Like the kind of like self-awareness, but simultaneously not self-aware.
Yeah,
you know,
it plays false modesty.
Yes, exactly.
While like shitting on other people around him. Right.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. It's like the most shitty thing you can do.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah.
That's why talking about then these are just about themes more like, or just one big theme, with varying degrees of just different themes that they're talking about. The ending is less of an ending and just more of a, I don't know.
Just like,
it's just an ending, not a conclusion.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
What's
it's an ending because the story ended.
It's ending
not
because the movie doesn't go on.
It's just an arbitrary like. All right, now we stop.
Yeah.
I'd rather it be that way without such, what do you call it? Without such gusto at the end.
The thematic callback to the painting in his room.
Well, I don't really care about that.
That
it's
cool.
No. With John Goodman's character.
That whole sequence.
Yeah, with him running, shotgunning, the whole place catching on fire. Like it's tying together something, but it's tying together nothing.
Yeah,
really.
My sort of first thought was that the whole murder storyline was more or less like a backdrop.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't the story at all.
No.
That's why I said when we left the house, I was like, you know what, I bet if you ask different people with different experiences, they would tell you this movie's about different things.
Sure.
For example, I think if you ask my dad what this movie's about, he'd say, oh, some guy finds out he's living next to a murderer. You know?
That's funny.
And I'd say, well, that's something that happened in the movie.
Well, see,
it's about a writer trying to write.
That's what's
script.
weird is because I personalize or more with that part that you just said about the writer.
Uh-huh.
But when they bring in the detectives,
Yeah.
and they're there for a longer period, like till the end, I'm just like, well, why are they here? I start questioning why they're even there in the first place, because they don't speak to the writing process really at all, except for that first part where they're talking back to him. They're the only person throughout the whole film who's talked back to Barton.
But I mean, again, if we elevate this a bit into this idea of it being like a stress dream, he's dealing with this idea of he doesn't have a single page written, and it's due like tomorrow, right? That's on the equivalency of showing up to school without your pants on, right?
Sure.
And I think that's kind of like this, that they're pushing that same emotion, whether it's tied together story-wise or not. They're pushing that same emotion by these cops being around and him having knowledge about a murder and trying not to be found out with a head in a box in his.
Would you say then, like,
it pushes up that same, like, you're about to pee your pants?
Yeah, no,
kind
it's
of
definitely
stress
that.
dream.
You're saying that it just elevates the emotion to just a really big emotion at the end, then?
Yeah,
basically.
It's a huge illustration, like
Yeah.
a big exaggeration of maybe what Barton is feeling.
I'm wondering if that's the case, if like the whole hotel bit, where you could separate it into two parts, where the hotel bit is in his mind only, and outside of the hotel is not.
Maybe. That's interesting.
Because whenever he's talking with other people, he doesn't, like, anyone who's not John Goodman, they're all pretty realistic, more or less. They're like real people. And then when the detectives come, then everything starts to blend together.
And he has a harder time talking to everybody except John Goodman.
That's exactly what I mean. Yeah.
So it's like he's talking to himself.
Yeah. And like when he brought the...
It's John Goodman is his avatar.
John Goodman is Brad Pitt from Fight Club?
Yes.
Yeah. There was
Exactly.
He did murder the woman.
there was a really interesting, what do you call it? I don't know what you call it. A reoccurring symbol.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Dripping?
Not the dripping. It was every time that Barton was in front of anything that was edible, drinking or eating, he never got to eat or drink.
Oh, interesting. See, again, that again feels like a stressful dream.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that happens.
Well,
like I
but
feel
to
like
him-
Freud wrote this screenplay.
To him, at least in the beginning, like with the coffee,
Yeah.
like it didn't look like he actually wanted the coffee and then couldn't do it and then brought it with him. But other places, it looked like he was interrupted by himself.
Yeah.
He would smell the whiskey before he drank it.
Yeah.
But he never actually drank it. I guess there was actually one part where he just downed the whiskey before he talked to the one guy at the pool.
I wonder if there's any symbolism, if they're going for some symbolism in different parts of the story. So it just kind of hit me that, he had his major breakthrough finally after the killing of the secretary.
Yeah.
Who kind of brought in this symbol of fake writing, of like the non-passion driven, non-art style of writing.
Right.
Like literally described it to him the night before. It's this easy. We just follow a program, just like your hero,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then she ends up bloody and dead. We never see her killed. We don't see her wounds. We don't know how she was killed,
Or if
per
it
se.
was even her.
It's a little weird that it's very weird how they included a murdered person in this movie compared to the way you have a murdered person in other movies.
Yeah.
Right? Like never knowing how it happened.
Right. Yeah, and again, Munt getting rid of the body,
Yeah.
like easily,
Easily,
in
like
a
just
hotel.
like walking out with the body, and he's like, "I took care of
I
it."
took care of it.
It gets all hazy.
Yeah,
But then
Yeah.
that blood on the mattress stays there, and they never dress the mattress again.
never covers
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
He doesn't. There's blankets there. You just cover it.
That's interesting.
So yeah, it all feels extremely
Like intent,
surreal.
full of intent.
Yeah.
like a dream.
Yeah.
And like how he burns the whole hotel, assumedly down, but
Well,
they just like walk away.
and it burns in that
Yeah.
like crazy,
and it's like
aesthetically
clearly
driven way.
Yeah.
You know,
clearly premeditated.
he's able to put on his coat and
flames.
hat and shoes and slowly walk out of the burning
Right.
building.
In his room in
Sixth
Munt's,
floor.
Munt's room
Yeah.
was the only ones not
yeah.
burned.
Yeah. and they're like sitting in there having like a conversation,
And no one
while,
else,
like, while it's burning.
no
down,
one
you
else
know?
cares.
And we never saw the inside of Munt's room. Like they were very
They
specific.
went about,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah.
Yeah, because he's probably got bodies hanging around in there.
Because it got all the heads there.
Or he
Yeah.
doesn't exist.
Yeah, because he doesn't exist.
That bit where the drip of fluid came out of his ear,
It's like
Yeah.
the glue.
and it looked just like the,
glue.
drips of glue on the wall.
Yeah.
Like, I love just sort of thematically attaching things that way.
Yeah,
It looks so cool.
visual.
The fire
Who would've
kind of
thought visual
reminded me
storytelling?
of the house in Synecdoche, New York.
Oh, yeah.
That's on fire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And it's on fire.
Dee and I were talking about that scene must have been just crazy to shoot.
to shoot.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hot.
Yeah. Yeah, there were no CGI flames in this
No, yeah,
sequence.
yeah. I was thinking when John
They're
Goodman
surrounded by fire.
Yeah.
when John Goodman is going into the hotel, like unlocking the door
Yeah.
and everything with his hat and everything, I was thinking those are flames around him. Like,
Yeah.
Like
I
right
wonder,
there.
Like
Yeah.
he has to hold it together. Be
Yeah.
like, okay, just get in the door.
Yeah. Doing take after take of that.
Yeah.
A whole day of shooting next to fire.
Yeah, well,
That'd probably be hot.
that one where he's running down the hallway with the shotgun, like that had to have been one take, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because that was real flames coming out.
Yeah. So I know most of the parts of LA that are relics of old Hollywood that people use over and over in movies because it still looks like old Hollywood.
Sure.
You know, so I like movies like this where I can recognize these icons that I've seen growing up. And then that hotel, I was trying to place it the whole time. So when I saw that like awesome Craftsman era hallway with the wooden archways and
With
stuff, I'm like,
the endless hallway.
yeah, I'm like, this looks so cool. I'm like, where is this hotel? No, obviously it was a set that was
Right. That's just
designed
built,
to
yeah.
be burned to the ground at the end.
Oh, there was one part in the movie I'd never seen this before, and I don't know if it's intentional, but there was one part of the hallway where we start on a wide looking down, and it looks as if the last two chunks of the hallway move like train cars for a second.
Oh, I think I noticed
Did you
something
see
like that? Yeah.
I don't know what that was about.
Me neither.
Was that in when they were showing all the shoes out?
No, it was I don't remember. It was like 3/4 in
Good.
to the movie.
That bit was super surreal too.
The
'cause,
shoes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no hotel that does free shoe shines where everyone puts out their shoes.
Every
like
single
that.
person did.
Yeah, like that. Again, that's like,
You also
What?
never got to see another resident.
Yeah.
yeah.
You did see one person put out his shoes, but you only saw a hand.
Yeah.
You didn't see his face.
Interesting. Yep. Yeah, this movie is getting weirder the more I think about
And
it.
Chet is always on the line, always
Yeah.
responsive.
Immediately. And he came from under the ground.
And he came from underground. That
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't that like dreams though, where they're weirder?
where they just-
when you're in them, it's normal,
It's
but
normal,
then
yeah.
afterwards, you think about it, it gets a
I
little weird.
wonder if they followed anything as a archetype or prompt for the symbolism and things that they put in this movie.
They had to have
because they
been.
do that with "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?"
Yeah.
They use Jason and the Argonauts.
Yeah.
Mythology.
This one thing that we talked about them with approaching realism, like talking about how like in Miller's Crossing, how the dude fell when he went to go get revenge to go shoot the other guy.
Yeah.
Like it's just one of those things. Just real things happen. When Barton goes to the bathroom because he can't believe that what's her name just died, and he's staring at his feet, and then we just see a shot of his feet. He stares down and then cut to the floor and then come back to a wide. I just love that. I think it's like them just like winking, like it's the filmmaker going, well, now we cut to what he's looking at, which is the floor.
Yeah. Interesting.
That is really funny.
And when him and the woman start making love, and we do the obligatory panning away and going into another room,
Oh, that was cool.
That was
I didn't
cool.
realize that.
and weird.
It
go into a
went into the
drain.
pipes.
Yeah.
Because John Goodman's character said
It carries through
yeah, it carries
something
through
about the pipes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, there's a lot of connective tissue in here, but I feel like I don't understand why yet. I don't know. Maybe you need to watch this more.
Yeah, maybe this is one that like keeps growing the more you watch it.
Sure did for me. I didn't
That's
put
kinda how I felt,
any
yeah.
of this together last time I saw it. This is
Something about the painting that he
Yeah.
always looks at kind of like, I got this idea in my head that what it could mean is that all along, you know, like what does Barton Fink like want in this movie? Like he wants to create something. He wants to be a creator. He wants to do something that matters with his art. But he's doing it in a very like egotistical kind of way, pretentious kind of way. And that makes me wonder if like when he looks at that painting, what you see is you see a woman on a beach and it looks really relaxing. It's like kind of got a vacation vibe. And it got me thinking maybe he really just wants to go on vacation. Maybe he really just wants to
do
relax.
nothing.
Neat. I like that.
All along, you know.
Maybe I was thinking too hard, but I kept being drawn to the fact that she was on this, you know, beautiful beach, but she was looking out to the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Like always just seeing
What's
she
next?
was trying to see something.
Yeah.
that
See
we
something
couldn't-
beyond.
that we couldn't see.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
That
That's
he
cool.
couldn't see.
I like
you
that
know?
too.
Yeah.
I have another reading on it.
All right.
All right.
It's when he's looking at the painting that he's seeing, like you said, a creation, and then he doesn't realize that it's not actually created until the very end when he actually sees it happen, and he's like, oh, it's just real.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like it's just based in reality, just
There is no creation.
There's no genius about it.
That's interesting.
I
like that.
I wonder if the Coens were intensely trying to say something to the effect that there is no there is no creation, there is no artistic creation that isn't deeply tied into the ego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Like even if you go about it with what you consider very pure intentions, that just the very idea that you're going to reclassify yourself with the gods and be like, I'm better than these soldiers, these petty soldiers
Right.
around me. I am a creator.
To the point where
Yeah.
you see your own material in the Bible.
Yeah, that's right.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
There's like a saying that like true humility is doing an act, doing a selfless act that nobody else can see and that you never mention to anybody else.
Yeah.
That's the only way to be truly
Yeah.
selfless.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
would be completely opposite.
Yeah,
and
well,
it's
yeah.
impossible to do that with art.
Right.
Yeah.
So art is not it just is not a selfless act. You are not helping society.
Right.
You know, you're not changing
Right.
the world.
Yeah. It's all about you.
But
yeah.
so many artists have that in their head
Yeah.
that they're like, oh, well, my motivation is I want to make the world a better place. I want to
That's
impact
funny.
society.
That's got to be.
I even have that, mythology in my brain.
Yeah. That's got to
Right.
be I'll bet you that's at least one of the biggest themes in this movie.
Yeah.
Is that? That's interesting.
And I guess that's not to say that art can't be a good positive on other
Right.
people.
But if you keep that
it
as-
can still service your ego.
Yeah. I mean, if that acts as a motivation, don't kid yourself. That's not why you're doing it, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here, in such a good setup to tell that story, you have this like idealist type of artist coming from New York, the foundation of idealist art,
Right.
Being thrown into the land of meaningless art.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right, right. Basically said, hey, we want to plug you into this machine,
Yeah.
and we are going to tell you to your face, this script is not important.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just a wrestling movie. It doesn't even matter. And he's like, well, where do I begin? Doesn't matter. Just do whatever.
It's a wrestling movie.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. It's stupid. You know?
It's a B movie. I'm cut the budget.
It's like that dichotomy is so interesting.
I have to wonder when he was looking at the dailies for that other movie.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if I don't know what he's seeing or what they're trying to tell us in that very stylistically
Dramatic.
edited.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very dramatic. It makes me think, and maybe that's all that matters. It makes me think that he's looking at the repetition and just realizing this is not what he does.
I felt like he was trying to draw meaning from it. Like he was like pushing it, like trying to see the pain, or the anger behind this like silliness.
I would like that to be the theme of the movie, and I don't know if it is, but I would like it to be that we want you to try to get meaning from the movie when there isn't any. Mm-hmm. I like that idea.
That is very Coen Brothers.
Yeah. Like Miller's Crossing was that way,
Yeah.
where you're just like, why is he doing that? And at the end, you're like, oh, I guess he just wanted to do it
He was just kind of a piece of shit a little
because
bit.
he's a piece of shit.
I felt so bad when he had his little lunch meeting with the author and his secretary, and like you literally just see him for what he is out in the open, and it's like pathetic. Like he's not just someone who like lost his way. Like he's to the level of just pathetic.
Wait, what was this scene again?
They're outside at a park eating, and he's drinking and talking like deeply depressed form of nihilism, and
and it's his idol.
Yeah, and he is, to the extent that he confronts him, he's like, "This is terrible. You're throwing away your gift," And he's like, "It doesn't matter."
I like how they approached that. I like how they introduced that character and that arc, where like you're first introduced to that character. He's literally in the bathroom vomiting, and then you're like, "Oh, that's kind of weird." And he gets out, and at that moment, I was in Barton's shoes, so I was kind of picturing like, how cool would it be if I met one of my heroes in the bathroom or something, and just in passing, at that point you kind of just forget about the fact that he was throwing up, because it doesn't matter. It's like, whatever, he's a famous, this is your idol, you're starstruck, and then you're like, oh, and then you get a meeting with him, and then the next time you see him, he's like belligerent, just drunk, and then all of a sudden the vomiting makes sense,
right?
And
yeah. Then you go backwards, and you're like, oh, that's why he had the little, what do you call it?
Flask,
yeah.
I guess that's the first real hint, is he just downs a ton then
that he just drinks like way longer than you would think.
Yeah, just like gulp, gulp,
But
gulp, gulp, gulp.
I was in Barton's shoes as well, because I felt like, well, okay, finally now they're having this like broad daylight lunch meeting. Third try, right?
Yeah, like this is the real go around.
Yeah, now he's gonna get the good info. Like I really was hoping he was gonna get some like earth-shattering piece of advice from this seasoned writer.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
but it's not.
Yeah.
It's completely,
because that's another trope. It's like the broken down old writer.
Right.
It's sad, but he still has this wisdom.
Right. Yeah.
He's like the sage.
Yeah. It's another thing that it's another theme of nihilism. I guess that really is the whole theme here is, again, Coen brothers with their nihilism, is that they're like, you think it means something, it doesn't.
I really like where they take that idea of like the flipped wise writer who's lost his way.
Yeah, the tropes.
Yeah, where they take that a step further and remove the person entirely from his own work. Like, he didn't even write the books he's famous for. It was his secretary was the writer. So it's like Barton's idol is really that secretary, not him at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's really funny to me. I guess kind of sad too.
It is. It's great.
From a production aspect, the way they chose to reveal that the secretary was dead in bed was very cool.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Hitting the mosquito and she doesn't respond, and then like she like rolls forward just a little and like blood just pours out from underneath her.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen that. That was really cool.
It's very strange.
It is strange, pretty surreal. Those are like my two favorite shots in this movie, is that close up of the mosquito, and then that close up of his eyes when he's looking over at it.
Yeah.
That's a very cool shot.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, this is too beautiful
for
this moment.
I don't remember the shot of the eyes. I remember the mosquito.
Yeah.
Was the eyes extreme?
It was extreme
close up and very, very soft around the edges.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And he has this like look in his eyes.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool, literally like blue look.
I always felt like John Turturro and Tony Shalhoub were like cousins.
That's funny. I say that.
They seem so.
Who's Tony Shalhoub?
That's Monk.
Oh yeah,
this movie.
They seem
like they have like just like a similar vibe, and the way their screen presence is very similar too.
He's really funny in this.
It's funny seeing that.
He's great.
I loved his role so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that blew my mind when you said Monk, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Jeez.
This is the earliest movie I've seen him in that I can think of.
He's really good.
Yeah.
Really
he's
good.
Great.
Good actor.
Yeah. Also famous from that awesome Tim Allen sci-fi movie.
Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest. Yeah.
Great movie.
He's hilarious in that. This is I feel like the Coen brothers have come into form. And that's why the next 4 movies are going to be so
they're awesome.
freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the next one, Hudsucker Proxy,
Dude.
because I've never seen it,
I love this movie
and I've
so
heard
much.
you talk a lot
Yeah,
about it.
I've
Yeah,
never
I
seen
know
it
you
either.
love it.
I've
Kenny.
been a fan of this movie for a long time. Yeah. To the theme of nihilism, it came to my mind immediately in the movie when, I don't know if it's his agent or rep or something, but his friend basically says, hey, the studio wants to pay you to come to L.A., $1,000 or $2,000 a week to write for them. And he knows immediately that it's disaligned with his high values,
Right.
with his sense of meaning.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, yeah, well, who cares? You can go make money.
He says, "Yeah, make
yeah,
money, and then
you got a little fame. Go there and
then come back.
turn it into some money and come back.
Yeah.
Your values. Yeah, okay. It doesn't matter.
that
Make
whole
some
idea
money.
of the contract to being like this kind of jail, this kind
Yeah.
of mental
Well,
jail. at the
that
end.
was true.
Yeah.
That was the real thing back then, especially if one studio felt like they had been wronged by some talent.
Yeah.
The last thing they wanted was that guy going off and working for
Right.
another company.
They do
for
the same
competition.
thing.
They just lock them up.
They do the same thing in BoJack
fucked up.
Horseman for a very like you feel sick. You're just like, oh, geez, they're doing that. That's terrible.
The contents of your mind are property of Capitol Studios,
Right.
or whatever the studio
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Again, the most like completely
It's like the most evil thing you
evil
can say,
thing
to,
to say to
an
an
artist.
artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This doesn't wash.
This doesn't wash.
Yeah.
I like the little like hints you get at what the screenplay
Yeah.
is about, where he says like he's wrestling with himself, or wrestling with it was some like heady philosophical
Yeah.
thing, and it was like kind of like a play on, or it's a wrestling movie where
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
instead
yeah.
of wrestling a person, he's
wrote-
wrestling with
yeah.
something else.
That's
you know?
funny.
What's the thing? He wrote a screenplay that was true to himself.
Yeah.
That's what I got out of it.
You know his
If I wanted the Barton treatment, I'd go to anyone else, not even you.
That's what it was.
Not the actual Barton.
I can get the Barton Fink feeling
from
anywhere.
Yeah, I got 20 writers on staff. Yeah, there was a couple things on that. One was when Barton met the other dude, who's the writer, the big writer guy.
Yeah, the novelist.
Yeah, novelist guy. When he meets him in the bathroom, and the guy says, "Meet me at 15."
Yeah,
What was
whatever
the number
yeah.
that he said.
20 something. It was like 25 or something.
Something
Eight.
like
I think it was
I think
25.
15.
It was Bungalow something.
I'm gonna say it's 15.
It was
Fine.
25.
Anyway, he when it cuts to the next scene, Barton is walking in that area, and it says on the top, writers 11 through 16, and I was just like, man,
Yeah.
what a way to just squash all this dreams.
It's
down.
like it's like a factory.
yeah,
It's like a factory. Well, if you go
Yeah.
to Universal Studios today and take the studio tour,
Right.
There's still a part of the tour where you go by the actors' bungalows, which are now just used for admin offices. But they're just it almost looks like a prisoner of war camp.
right.
There's nothing glamorous about it. And
yeah.
they're like, oh yeah, Clark Gable lived there, and it's just crazy.
Yeah,
It's
just a
like you were a
factory.
slave.
Indentured servant at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other part that I thought was really cool was I felt like the Capitol guy, the president in charge or
Yeah.
whatever, that at the very end when he argues against Barton's screenplay and tells him I can get a Barton anywhere, imparts certain wisdom where he says, one, that I could get a Barton anywhere,
Yeah.
and two, that he acknowledges that the work is heady and interesting, but he says it's not for this. Like, I just want a B movie.
Yeah.
Like, I just love that he's super aware and Barton is so inside of his head.
Yeah.
And they just slam those two together at the very end. I love that so much.
That was another surreal moment, by the way, was his reveal of joining in the war effort.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh yeah, I joined up, and he's already like super decorated, right? Like he has like 20 medals.
Yeah. Well, I like what
Like,
he said.
wait a minute.
He's like, well, but they wouldn't give me a uniform, so I had to get this one in from wardrobe.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay. That is funny. What a crazy person.
Yeah, that is
Just a
really
wild
funny.
character.
Yeah, I guess that is a good way to look at this movie, is like a writer who's like way deep in his head and is at odds with reality.
Definitely.
But
for that reason,
yeah.
you know?
yeah.
Which I think is almost the most universal place for a writer to be.
Totally.
So I wonder then
Yeah.
if the package that he has at the end is one of those things where you're like, oh, that's got to have something meaningful in it, because in his head he feels like everything has meaning, and therefore this package unlocks something if he opens it, but he never does.
It's his typewriter.
Oh, okay.
It's a dozen screenplays ready to go.
It's her head.
That's what it is. It's her head.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that.
It's actually her foot. That would have been like the crazy.
That would have been a real
Oh,
throw.
Yeah.
subversive.
Yeah.
Oh, it's her foot. Didn't expect that.
Directed by Ryan Johnson.
Wrecked.
Ooh,
Right.
Rijo, take that.
Rijo.
It's okay, we love you. Knives Out is awesome.
Knives Out, cool. Laugh Jedi bad. Well, how about this though? I don't think there's a head in that box because
What?
Yeah, because when he like picks it up and he puts it down on his desk, he kind of like jiggles it a little bit, and it sounds like there's multiple objects.
See, I thought it
within the
sounded like a
box.
head, but I thought it was supposed to be because you never actually get to see what's in it, so it's irrelevant. But
It's
I thought
not
they
a
made
head.
it sound like a head.
No.
Should I weigh in?
There was
Should I
a
weigh in?
jiggle. It didn't quite have the weight.
I'll
That
make
a
a,
head
I'll make
would
a,
have?
I'll make an argument.
Okay.
In Pulp Fiction, when they open the suitcase and it shines in what's his name's face,
Uh-huh.
you're like, oh, it's got to be something shiny. You're like, no.
Oh, yeah.
No.
It's
It
his
doesn't
soul.
matter. It doesn't matter what's in the case. That's the point.
D, I think you're missing the point.
It
What's
does
in-
matter.
It
what's
does
in the
matter.
case, First of all,
What's in the box is extremely important.
That's
That's why they don't show it to
That's
you.
the point, though. The point is that it's extremely important, not about what the object is.
or is it important?
No, the object is what's important
No.
about it.
Okay,
No,
here.
not
Listen
about
to
its
this.
identity,
Okay, he's carrying around this box, and when he's questioned about it, he says he doesn't know what's in it,
Right.
and he doesn't know if it's his.
Right.
Think about that.
Oh, okay, so it can't be the head.
I have no
'Cause if the
statement.
head was in there,
I have no more. I just
It's-
want you to think
it's
about
Barton
it.
Fink's
think about
head.
it. Oh,
It's his own head.
dude. Does Barton Fink not look like fucking?
He doesn't look like he's fucking.
Tony Shalhoub.
No. He dude, like his, not literally like his face doesn't look the same, but like his hair and all that. And
Tim Burton?
No, it reminds me of the guy in Eraserhead.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Yeah, he does.
a bit like
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
yeah.
That's funny
They
'cause
have
it's-
similar Jufros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His character goes through a nightmare also.
Yeah.
And the guy talks about pipes.
Pipes. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, there's pipes in both.
matter. Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa. The wallpaper glue looks like the blood from the androids in Alien.
Oh, yeah.
Truth. Yeah, and is clearly not wallpaper glue. Also, it's like
Yeah.
whoever put up this wallpaper. First, that isn't wallpaper. Second, that's not wallpaper glue. I'm not sure what they're strange stuff they're putting on this.
I'm not sure. I don't typically look at wallpaper glue.
I've put
so-
wallpaper up and removed it.
Oh.
And I'm telling you.
So you're the expert.
Around this table, yeah. Yeah. Wallpaper sucks, by the way. Don't ever do it.
I've got a question for both of you.
Fine. It's about wallpaper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It is, if Barton Fink was a pizza, what kind of pizza would it be?
Wow.
Damn.
That's really profound.
I wasn't prepared for this.
I know you were.
Is this a new segment?
This is a brand new segment.
Never been done
This is a
before?
segment? We're going to keep doing this?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to.
I mean, how's a pizza rating helpful to people? Sounds
I'm going to
confusing.
retro continuity now. All of our previous episodes now have this.
Oh, man.
You mean you're going to force us to go back and
Yep,
record
and
a
record,
pizza
yeah,
rating
new
for
ones.
every single one?
Absolutely.
That sucks.
I bet we're just going to pull a lot of, pull a lot of pepperoni pizza sort of thing,
Just every movie.
Just
pepperoni
like when
pizza,
it's a good,
pepperoni
just when a good movie, that's
Pepperoni
a
pizza.
pepperoni pizza.
Okay, so Taylor, what would you say Barton Fink
Barton
is?
Fink, pepperoni pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, not really. It is good though. It is a good one. It's actually, you know what? No, it's not. This is
Actually, pepperoni pizza.
I was thinking about it, but it's not quite a pepperoni pizza. It's a different kind of good. It's like a fancier pizza. That's like house-made mozzarella. Where they do like 3 slices of mozzarella on there.
They have a
and melt
sliced
it down.
mozzarella?
Yeah,
Oh.
and
I don't know. Can you slice mozzarella?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, then.
You slice it and then it melts down. And it's all homemade.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, and it's just oven. Put it in the oven.
I'd eat that.
Stone.
Stone.
Put it in the stone.
Yeah.
Put it on a pizza stone.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful to not crack your pizza stone. Like if you take your pizza stone and it's like really cold and you put it in the oven, you crack your pizza stone, and you don't want that. And they don't do that here.
And they don't do it.
Yeah, they get it right.
All right. Preheated stone.
That's pretty dang good.
And
wow.
it's delicious.
Wow.
Kenny, you got one?
Wow. Oh, yeah. All right, California Pizza Kitchen.
Yes, CPK.
Back when I used to eat there, I used to work at the mall, so I would eat there a lot.
Oh.
Yeah. Taco pizza.
Wow.
It was delicious.
Why is it a taco pizza?
Well, because it's just so different, and yet the things that make it quirky and weird all serve the greater good. And that's what the taco pizza is.
Nice.
It's like, whoa, I don't see a story here. I don't see a narrative. This doesn't really make sense unless you think about it. Whoa. Wait. Let's talk about this. Can you put cold iceberg lettuce on top of a pizza? I'd normally say no, but you know what? This works. It's good.
Nice.
Now, but I'm not done.
Okay.
Because what I would do is put that in a pizza box.
Definitely.
Wrap it in brown paper, tie some string around it, and then never open it.
Damn.
And
Wait a second.
I could infer
Wait a second.
that a delicious pizza is inside there, but never confirm it, and then you would live with that.
I feel like that's like something else that I've seen before. Maybe not. I don't know. That's
You're thinking of 7.
7. That's what it was. Wow, that's a 7 pizza. Interesting.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. This is the South Bank chicken pizza from not Riverside Pizza. What is
Cool
it?
River?
Cool River Pizza. Yeah.
Cool River.
Cool River.
Wow.
Yeah. Cool River makes this pizza that is enchilada enchilada flavored.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
But looking at it, you wouldn't think that. You look at it, just looks like a regular pizza. But
Yeah.
then you eat it, and
It's
the
freaking
sauce,
enchilada.
the sauce is enchilada sauce.
Oh my
wow.
gosh.
See, there's
Oh,
black
that's
olives
good.
on there, but
Dang.
they serve a different purpose now.
Different perks.
Wow.
Now it's like
You know?
Mexican food.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
And then you have a side of sour cream. You're like, what's the sour cream
Why
for? This
would
is pizza.
you normally-
You dip it in there, and you're like, this is amazing. Wow.
Holy cow.
That's pretty
so look,
awesome.
we went
That's it.
down a similar theme.
We did, yeah.
So just disclaimer, just for your basic information, we are sponsored by Cool River Pizza. Cool River Pizza. Get your enchilada pizza today. Use promo code Talkies and get 5% off.
5%?
That's not right.
We bumped that up
That's
to
not
10%?
true. No, that's true.
Yeah, but maybe if we showed them the episode, they would be like, "Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
lie to them.
Maybe
It
they-
is true.
Maybe they'd give us. Maybe they'd give us some money.
It's not true. I'm sorry.
Maybe they'd give us some money or some pizza.
Oh, yeah, that's
Some
right.
pizza. Maybe
Because
they'll
that
split
worked
some
out when we
pizza.
did the Guayaki sponsorship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
The fake
Visit us at
Guayaki sponsorship.
Talkies.pizza.
We have a bad
Talkies
history
dot
with
pizza.
our fake sponsors.
Yeah, nothing ever happens.
Yeah, we never get any money.
It's Kenny's turn to close us off today.
All right, and we're done.
No, that's not how it
Oh,
does.
sorry, man.
Let us know
Yeah,
what happens
the
next-
real closing.
next
Well,
week.
yeah. What time do you?
You
What time
have
do they?
been listening to the Talkies from Karman Line Studio. We got new episodes coming in every Friday.
Yeah.
Next week, we continue our awesome deep dive. What do we call it? Coen Quest?
Coen Quest.
Coen Quest continues with one of my all-time favorites, the Hudsucker Proxy.
It'll be first time for Taylor and I.
Yes.
That's right.
Gonna pop your Hudsucker cherries.
That sounds terrible.
Sucker cherry.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and I get to watch.
What?
Wow.
I don't want you
Does
to
that
watch.
make you comfortable?
No.
No.
Makes me comfortable. I feel good about this.